Welcome to the shop FNN. We are on day 2 of the Super Swing Set build, and I've got several things here. I bought this stuff from Home Depot. This is like a handlebar set. This is a swing set, and then these are the hinges that mount up to the top of the top post there. I got all this stuff so that I could get some measurements, and I was going to use it, but I decided taking it all back. So I got 2 swing sets, handlebars, and then 3 of these hinges here, and it was like $260. And then after I got to looking at it, it's just not really that good of stuff. The quality, I mean, it's okay, but it's not great. For instance, these swings, the chains on them are not very long. I'm gonna have to extend them if I use these. I'm just gonna buy some offline. They're 9-foot chains. I don't have to extend them, they're ready to go. So that's one thing I didn't like about these. This handlebar kit, it's not bad, but I think it's also a little short on the chain. And then I was really disappointed by these. These things were like $40 a piece, I think, $35 or $40 a piece. And I was expecting them to be really nice and have some kind of like bearing or something in here, some kind of a bushing, maybe even like a brass or something. But when I got to looking at it, I'll show you, there's nothing in there. All it is this round eye thing with a bolt through it. And as this wears down, it'll wear through the threads of that bolt. I'm sure this will work just fine and it'll work well, but for $40, it's just not worth it. You get 2 of these in a set, it's not worth 40 bucks. Also, I was going to drill and tap the holes for both of these into the beam. And because you have 2 holes, you have to be very precise with your holes, because if you're off just a little bit, your bolt won't fit or it'll bind up. So that makes it a little bit more difficult. Now I can do it on the mill, it's not a problem. It just takes a little bit more time and more precision. So I'm just gonna scratch all that, and I'm gonna go with a single eye bolt that you can get from Ace Hardware. I'll probably do like a 1/2-inch eye bolt, and it's 1 bolt in the center. I'll thread and tap it, and then I'll screw that eye bolt in, and then I'll lock it down with the lock nut. And so it won't go anywhere, and it's going to be just as good as this thing here. And I could do that for probably less than 10 bucks. So that's what we're going to do. Taking all this stuff back, I'm going to order industrial stuff offline, and I'm going to tap each hole with a single eye bolt and save myself a lot of money. So. All right, yesterday I was in the shop, and I got all the metal laid out. I got 1 piece cut, I'll show you over here. But I literally spent like 2, maybe even 3 hours just getting things laid out and laying out on, I got a 20-foot stick here on the floor, and just laying out on the floor here where I wanted each section or each item or accessory of the swing set to go. It took me a long time because I wanted it to be perfect. I was coming up with all different kinds of ideas, and I just couldn't make them fit on 20 feet. So 20 feet looks big and it looks long, but when you start getting items in there and start spacing them out, you really can't fit as much as you think you can in there. Now, on those cheap swing sets that you can buy in the stores, one of the things that makes them cheap is that they put all of their accessories really close together. So you're looking at 2 swing sets, actual swings that are maybe 6 inches apart from each other. And those are made for little kids that are not going to be swinging crazy. They're just kind of rocking back and forth. And I didn't want that. So I tried to identify and look up proper spacing specs. The best thing that I could find was 20 inches. Which is about that far. And so I went ahead and did 24 inches. I just went 2 feet even. I thought 2 feet even. Once I did that, it really took up a lot of space. So I dropped it back down to 20 so that I could fit everything on there. And I was still having trouble with 20 inch spacing all the way through. Still having trouble fit everything. And you gotta keep in mind that this is, I'm using 4x4 square tubing. So that alone takes up 8 inches of the whole 20-foot length. So I finally got it figured out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use a cantilever system on both sides. Originally it was only going to be one side. Now I'm going to use it on both sides of the swing set. And what that means is, just like my hoist up here, I'll show you. So how you can see my hoist right there is sticking off to the side, and then I could lift anything off that side that I want to. We're going to do the swing set just like that, except on one side it's going to be a tire swing, and then on the other side it's going to be a adult swing. Not that kind of adult swing. I'm sorry. It's going to be a two-person swing for grown-ups. So that's what we're going to do on that side. So let me go ahead and show you. I got it on the ground here, and I'll show you what I got laid out. Here's a section I cut up yesterday, and I did this. I cut it in half, so those are 10 feet legs. And I did this so I could get my spacing, so I could understand where I wanted these legs to fit, and then how tall it ultimately was going to be. And this is where the 5 foot measurement comes. So each leg is going to be 5 feet on center, from one center of the leg to the other center of the leg. And then I'm going to place, once I get these welded up, this one from the other leg on this beam, they're going to be 10 feet apart. So right here is where the tire swing is going to go. I'm going to mount it right here on the end. And I think I might have went a little overkill, because this is 3/16, so it's just right under a 1/4 inch thick steel tubing. And this stuff is heavy. And I might have overdone it, but originally I was thinking this is going to be a 20-foot span. I don't want it bowing in the middle, and I want to make sure this thing is strong and solid, because we're going to be building more things in the future off of this set here. So I wanted to make sure that this was really solid, so that we can expand this whole thing out. But this is really thick stuff. We'll see how it works, and then if I need to lighten it up on another section or so, I will, but probably not. I want this thing to last forever. I want my kids and my grandkids to be able to enjoy this for the rest of our life. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to mount the tire swing off the center right here. So the tire swing, this is kind of nice, will actually stick out where there's no obstruction all the way on this side. And then I measured it. It's that tire swing. The tire itself is 4.5 feet wide, and it'll come out about this far right here. And then this is where the first leg will be, or set of legs will be. And then we have our first swing set will be from here to here. Our second swing set's going to be on this side from here to here. Now in the middle is where I was having trouble, because I don't have the clearance. If I was to put another swing set here, or a handlebar or whatever, I would only have about 6-inch clearance from one set to the other. And I really didn't want that. It would work, and this is what took me the most amount of time to figure out, was what I was going to do here. So what I came up with is I'm going to ditch the double mounting points. There's no need for it. And I needed to figure out some type of accessory I could mount in the center. Now you could say, yeah, we could do a rope or something like that, but I'm already going to do a rope, and we'll talk about that in a minute. And I didn't want another rope. So what I decided to do is make a, I think they call it like a foot swing or something. So I'll have a single mounting point here, and then I'll have a solid bar that drops all the way down. And at the bottom of that bar, I'll have a small tire that will I'll have a small tire that will mount to the bottom of that pole. Now that might be a little hard to imagine. So the tire itself will be mounted like flat, and then you could stand on top of that tire and hold on to that pole, and you could swing back and forth. So that's kind of what I came up with, and I think that's what we're going to do. It'll be something kind of cool and different. Then over here is where the adult swing is going. So I think this is like 4 feet. No, it's about 5 feet off the end here. And what I'm going to do is some type of swing. I'm debating right now on what it's going to be. It's going to span where it connects 4 feet wide. So there'll be a connection point here and a connection point right here. So the 3 things I'm thinking about going with: a 2-person swing, so like a bench type swing that you might see on the back of a porch. So a 2-person sit down swing. The next one is a 4-person swing with a table in the center. So if you can imagine a table right in the center, one swing, one set of seats on one side facing in, and one set of seats on this side facing in, so that the 2 parties are facing each other, and they got a nice table in the middle where you can eat or have some drinks or something like that and just kind of rock back and forth. Those are pretty cool too. That would be a lot more extensive for me to have to build that. So I'm still thinking about that one. The third one is a bed, some type of like a lounge bed made out of like wood that'll just rock back and forth with pillows and stuff on it. So that's my third idea. And so I'm really thinking, I'm not real sure what I want to do yet. The other thing is that I have seen where those beds turn into chairs, so you could just lift like half of it up and it will turn into a chair. That's kind of cool, but I don't know. I'm just gonna have to think about it and see, because I'm not real sure what I want to do yet. But there will be something for me and my wife to just kind of chill out on this side and be able to just watch our kids play and do some stuff like that. So, all right, I think we will go ahead and get started. First thing we are going to do, actually, what I'm going to do is I got these tubes over here. These are concrete tubes, and this is what we're going to build the mounts for the bottom of that swing set. So I'm going to try and get these on my bandsaw and cut these. I need them to be about 1.5 feet each. So I don't know, we'll see. I'm going to see if I can hold it in place, maybe, and see if my bandsaw will get through these things. After that, we're going to start chopping up the rest of that metal.
You love me and I love you, man. When you love it is natural. Do dig it, dig it, do, dig it, do, do. Dig it, 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 dig it.
and soul, I'm cool Creole. Go with the flow down the basement show with the greenbacks and Cadillacs. Riding with the hunters and the VIPs. I'm Mr. Nice, come and roll the dice. The latest craze on the dance floor plays is right here in my pocket. Oh, there are things that give you wings, but I'll give you a rocket.
All right, that worked awesome. I don't even think I really even needed to hold this in place. Looks like we got just a little piece hanging on there at the end. There it is. That is a perfect cut. I'm really impressed with that. So, what this also shows me is that I could cut a 12-inch round bar, full thick sheet of stock of round metal in this machine, no problem. I have plenty of clearance. I have another about a good 1.25 inches right there on the top. So that's about max, because I don't think they make like 12 1.25 inches maybe. But 12 inches of a round, solid round bar or 12-inch pipe, I could cut on this thing, no problem. So that's kind of cool for me to get to see that also. So really happy with this. I've got 3 more to do.